Hello and welcome, true art believers, and welcome to my live stream. Welcome to today's live stream. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world. This is Pierson here, and you are watching day 154 of 200 days of drawing. And before I begin today's drawing, I just want to announce that I am hosting or having having. Hosting and having is the same thing, really. I'm having an art giveaway where if you are interested in winning a free art print, all you have to do is enter in the link below right here. It's also in it is also in the descriptions section of the YouTube video. So don't forget to submit and enter for the free art print giveaway. Well, let's get the drawing on the road and let's kind of get this drawing finished for today. How about that? Let's get that going. And alrighty, so today is a brand new day. We got a piping hot drawing for you. And well, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I think I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Well, I say that very lightly. When I say I think, but when I say I've been thinking a lot, I really mean like I just been not thinking. So, one of the things I've been pondering is I've been doing these live streams, and I've been thinking about, like, I was just saying to myself, it'll be so easy. It would just be so easy to not do one, to skip a day. And I was saying to myself, you know how easy it would be just to skip a day. So I don't know what I'm going to draw today. I've been doing a lot of the really simple cactuses. Because I'm really lazy. And I just don't want to change it up. I'm having fun doing this. I want to get so good at doing these that it's going to become like second nature. I don't know. There's been days I've been getting up and I just like, why? Why bother, right? Like, why do it? Like, it's not like, it's not going to hurt anyone. I'm not going to hurt anyone by missing this live stream. It's not going to like mess up my day, and I'm not going to be upset if it happens. It's not going to ruin anyone's day. And I just been thinking about, like, why am I doing this? Or, like, what's the point, right? Like, what's the final outcome of all of this, right? And I don't know why I've been thinking about this and why I've been pondering the idea of, like, just not doing it. And I thought to myself, why should I quit? Like, I think I'm in what I'm trying to project here is this notion of, like, why do anything, really, right? Why am I doing this? It's not benefiting me. It's actually quite hard. It's a difficult thing to do. Like, the drawing part's not hard. The setting out time and doing it is where it's difficult, right? So, like, I'm doing this on my vacation, essentially, on my designated free time, and it's not. I could easily say, you know what, tomorrow, right? I think what I'm trying to get at with this chain of thought is that don't give up, right? Don't give up on doing things that bring you joy, or don't give up on your goals. Like, if you have, like, this, if you want to do something, you want to write a book, you want to get more fit, you want to I don't know, learn how to skateboard, or learn the guitar, or learn a new thing. Our mind, like, our subconscious, is really good at making excuses for it. Like, today I was just like, I can just sit down after all of my vacation like evening and just sit down and relax and do nothing. And nothing, it's not going to harm anyone to skip out on those days. I'm not going to like, it's not going to affect anyone but me. But I think I'm doing this because I think it's a pivotal point. It's a pivotal point in my, I think I'm like rewiring my subconscious, right? I'm rewiring it so that, um, let's see here, so that I can, so that things like this, these days where I'm like, just forget it, man. Just forget it. Just go ahead and sit back on the lazy boy and do nothing. It's so easy. It's and you know when you're you know when you have chores to do that are important to do, you know you got to do it. Like you have to do laundry or something, and you're just like, oh gosh, but that couch right there and the television, it looks so comfortable. It looks so comfortable, right? And so that's what I'm feeling like right now. A while back, I was just wondering, like, why bother? Like, I don't have to do this. But what I've found and what I've learned is that once you say like, let's do it tomorrow, you start a new pathway of like decision making where you start making more and more excuses for other things. Like, let's see here. Well, you just start making more and more excuses for other things. I don't have an example, but like you'll just like maybe if I said I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do another, I'll skip this day and I'll do it tomorrow. I was like, no harm, no done, no harm, no foul, right? And I'll be like, all right, and I'll come. It'll be tomorrow, and then maybe I'll find another reason for it for me to not do the thing, right? To do the thing that I want to do. Wow, this is going to be intense. This intense red. Wow. Like I'll find another reason to miss it. I will. It'll be easier and easier each time. So each time I come up with a logical excuse to miss that day or to miss the day or miss this live stream, the easier it is the next time to come up with some sort of reason as to why I should miss this time. It's going to be easier and easier. And so no matter how I feel, like there's these days where I'm like, oh boy, oh gosh, feel good. It'll feel so good. It feels so good just to go down and sit down on that couch, sit down on it, just like relax, kick your feet up. Like if you have a job that you're sitting, you stand all day long, right? Like you're literally standing, you're not moving, you're just standing in the same spot, and you can feel the pads on your feet um, get flattened. Like you can literally feel them getting more flat. And you're like, oh gosh, but this feels so good. I just want to sit down, lay down. Oh gosh, why not? Why not? And then you just find more and more easier things you just become better at rationalizing why you don't want to do something. Now, what I'm doing with these live streams is I'm building up, or at least I believe I am. Hopefully I am. I'm building up like this mental like strength, this barrier, this I am building a I'm building up a callus for things that make me uncomfortable, things that are hard. Like as I said, like as a human being, you just want to you want things to get easier and easier. Our net default, the way that we are wired, our net default is to make things as easy as possible, right? We want to make things so easy. And so when I do these live streams every day, there's a little bit of a challenge. Every day there's like, we have those like the devil on one shoulder and like the angel on the other, right? There's always like they're kind of speaking back at you, right? And you find like, oh god, but it's not like for me, it's not like doing evil things like, oh go trip that person. Nah. No, it's more like, Oh man, you know what'd be sound nice? Kick back on that beer, kick back on the couch, have a beer, eat some nachos. I don't like nachos, but you know that in this scenario, you're eating nachos, right? And do nothing. Watch binge on Netflix, right? It's so easy. Oh my gosh, it is the easiest thing. It's like it's so easy because it's so enjoyable. It's so comfortable. It's pleasant. And some days it's like I want to do that. I want to do that so bad. And I say, oh man, but I got this live stream. I set a goal for myself. I'm going to do it. And at the end of the day, though, I feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit happier that I decided to um, I decided to do this drawing, because at the end of the day, what I have, what can I say that I've accomplished? Like most people, they go and they do a 9 to 5, man, and you don't really have anything to like. You don't really have anything tangible for it. You don't have anything tangible for the 8 hours that you worked at a retail job. Believe me, I'm in it, right? I'm in it, so I know. Like at the end of the day, you don't really produce anything. And when I do these live streams, I do two things. Two things come out of this. Two things. I produce a video, like a like a time capsule of me at this time of my life. I also produce a piece of art. So two things are happening at once with this live stream, and I'm also building up this callus, this subconscious callus, making me stronger than I was before, making it easier for me to do things that I don't like doing. You know, you ever go to a job and you have to do these things that you don't want to do, right? There's things that you don't want to do, like maybe you had a job and your boss wants you to do like this extra cleaning stuff, or do specifically new like closing procedures, you know, and you're like, oh gosh, but that sucks, dude, right? Maybe like you're like this sucks. Who wants to do that stuff? I just want to go home and do nothing, or like go home and not have to deal with that. Um, Doing that, like what this does is when I do these drawings, it makes things that are generally kind of sucky, like they kind of suck to do, easier to manage, because it's like I can say, well, I did 100 days of live streams. Um, I guess doing this one thing for 30 minutes is not a big deal. And also I'm like, I can say, well, I'm also being paid for it, so why not? But man, there's days. I get it. I totally get it. I really do. I can I can relate to people feeling the way they feel uh, with certain things, right? You know, I get it. That's why, like, I don't hold a lot of stock on some of these like younger YouTubers that like make they literally they like made it before they even were of age to work, or they weren't even like, it's really weird. What was it, like Mr. Beast? I don't know how old he was when he like started just getting followers at the followers. Uh like I don't know if he worked during that prior to that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to claim I'm going to claim ignorance to that. But like, you know, when you're that age and you get to that point where you're able to you haven't even really been in the workforce at all. Like literally, you've worked, but you've never really worked. Like you never really had to take a really bad job. You know, you might have had a job for a while, but you never really had to take a really bad job. So I don't like this perspective there, but I'm going to leave it like that, right? So you've worked, but you never really like worked. You know, you never had to go out in the field. You never had to work in a warehouse, and then you're making like tons of YouTube money. Oh, and they'll say, people will say, well, you can make the argument that like making the video and setting up all the stuff is work. But there's something, it's different. It's different. It's just different, man. You know, I'm going to do a hypersaturated color on this one. It's just so much different than work, you know? Like there's so much more involved. It's harder, man. It's not like you're making these videos in a warehouse with no AC, and you have to carry your computer, and your computer's 80 pounds, and you can't sit down, you know, and it's noisy and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's just different. So I don't know. I don't want to be like, get on my soapbox here, but it's just, you never have to, if you've gotten to that point without actually, you know, have had a real job, right? I mean, I think you just don't know, you just don't have the perspective. Like you don't know what it's really like. So like I have no problem with working hard, but like there's days like when I'm doing these live streams, for some odd reason, it feels harder to do than working in a warehouse that has no AC. You know, I think part of it is it's like it's almost feels like a hobby right now. And because it feels like a hobby, it's treated, it feels more like, I don't know why I feel like it's harder to do something like this than to do actual labor. Maybe because with actual labor, there's a guarantee. There's like there's a guarantee of a return in your in labor. So like if I work at a job and I work for set amount of hours, for X amount of hours, I know for that amount of hours, I'm going to get paid for those hours. And with these things, you know, there is no pay unless I have enough followers, right? Or anything like that. And not really doing it for that. I'm doing it for like mental fortitude. It's conditioning me to be a stronger individual, to do something that makes me a little bit stronger. Like some days, like for this time, like right now, this filibuster, this like tyrant rant actually is helping me think. It's helping me like go through some ideas that I could use later on, right? It's also helped me just think in general, like think about the value of this. Think about like what this is doing for me as a person. Like how is it making me a better person? You know, how is this making me a better person? You know, for one, it's putting myself out there. It allows me to articulate some thoughts that I think might have some relevance. I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit. I might be overvaluing it, but to me, the thoughts have they're of value to me. You know, so they're important to me. I don't think I'm going to do a mustache today. I think I'm just going to focus on the cactus and kind of get it done, because I'm on vacation. I want to kind of I'm on I'm kind of on like a rant today, and I want to spend the time maybe articulating my thoughts a little bit and not think about like, how am I going to do this mustache, right? And so, but yeah, I'm doing this. I do these live streams because they make me stronger mentally. I'm building up a callus, and I think everyone should try doing that. Do something that makes them uncomfortable. Do it. because for me, doing live streams makes me incredibly uncomfortable. Making videos makes me incredibly uncomfortable because I see the quality that everyone else is pumping out there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I had that. I wish I was like, oh, I want that. I want that. Why can't I have that? I want to have that ability to do that video. And part of that I have to think about, like, well, let's kind of break this down a little bit. The reason why some of these people can do what they're doing is they're they have a little bit more free time than me, or at least I think do. I think they do. Maybe I'm just like fooling myself. Maybe they have like way less time than me. And if so, I want to know their secret. I was like, how do you manage your time, bro? Tell me. I want the time secret. Give me that time secret, bro. But I like to think that maybe they have less time than me, so I can at least um, understand, uh, feel a little bit better on why the video qualities is not as good as they could be, or maybe they could be better. I don't know. There's lots of things I could do to improve these videos, and I'm trying each time. You know, every day it's a new adventure with these videos. So let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is with this one, we're going to make we're going to do this. We're going to make this like a dark. All right, we're going to do this. I'm going to do like the dark version of that, put a little bit right here. Right, and then put a little bit of, there we go, put some of that on there. And go in this layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tone, we're going to make like a darker one. We'll do some like reflective light underneath it. Like it's creating a bottom glow, you know? And then maybe a little bit lighter in the front right here. So something like that, maybe a little halo. I don't know. Do something like that, and we'll get this and take the eraser, erase that. All right. Oh, we'll just leave it like that. And so like every time I do one of these live streams, you know, it's always it's very it's a giant experiment. I'm always trying to it's always a pushing it's making me a little bit more confident. Some days I have really bad videos. Some days I have really good videos. I think this one's going pretty good. I think I'm able to rationalize, or at least articulate some of the things, some of the thoughts that I'm thinking, or some of the ideas in my brain and in my subconscious that I think they're kind of flowing really well. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, right? I could be like, maybe I'll listen to this later on, years later, like, and it sounds like blah 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 blah. Man, did I sound like a crone? I sounded like a Cro-Magnon, dude. What was I thinking? Right? But yeah, there's good days and bad days. You know, some days things that I have on my mind just come out fluidly, you know, like water. They're just really to the point, and there's not a lot of trying to navigate through these ideas. So that's some things I worry about, whether I'm articulating some of these ideas enough so people understand, you know. So I'm gonna add a little bit. No. So add a little bit of red on there, and then we're gonna some here. Let's kind of do some color here. Let's make it a little brighter. And I think I'm just going to back out. Now we're going to go to the red again. And what if we do like a little bit of red, like a sharp red right there? and add a little bit of red right here, a little bit of red right here, just a smidge, maybe a little bit of red, like a little bit of red right here. There you go. Something like, no, yep. It's trying to get that just a little bit, like a little tinge of that. Now onto the sand. What I'm going to do is we're going to go to the sand. Actually, we're going to go and take this. I'm going to shift it, press Control E, and oops, we're going to call it P. Apparently, I have all these windows popping up now. All right, now I'm going to lock that layer. I'm going to unlock this layer, that's sand. I'm going to zoom out briefly. No, I'm not going to zoom out. It's going to take a color test right here. But yeah, this I think I've exhausted the idea. I really have. I think I've exhausted the there we go. I've exhausted the idea of what I was thinking about, which was it was just like being adventurous, being bold, and doing things that that make you uncomfortable. Like as humans, man, as like when we're very prone. Like there's this phrase called FUD. It's like fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and it's like a stock. It's a stock term. But I'd like to think about it as more of like this is a term that you probably should be saying for like going for something that for a passion or going for some sort of passion or something that you want to do, but you're afraid that you're gonna mess up or you're gonna make mistakes, and you don't want to live in that vacuum of oh, this is I don't want to do X or I don't want to do this because I'm just totally going to bomb, dude. You don't want to do that. You don't want to live in that type of mental sphere. If I lived in that mental sphere, I'd be in deep trouble because I would never have done all these drawings. I never would have entered into art competitions or submitted my work to art like shows and so forth because I'd be too afraid of what people thought of my work, blah blah blah, and that type of thing. All right, zoom out. So you don't want to live in that like vacuum. So you want to really try to, let's see here. Okay, we're going to do this something like this. You want to, okay, I'm going to put a line here and a line here so I know where I'm going to be putting the shadows on this cactus. So you always constantly want to challenge yourself in anything that you're doing, and not worry about what people think, because there's always going to be someone that's going to be thinking counterproductive to you and really going to be saying stuff that you're not going to like. There's always going to be negative people. There is always going to be a person who is going to say negative things about you for you to try. No, because people don't want to believe in like miracles or believe things happen through hard work. A lot of people will think that things just happen because so and so gave this opportunity, not because I spent 5,000 hours being bad at something, and then after the 5,001 hour, I became good, Or no one wants to think after 5,000 drawings, you were bad at doing drawings, and after once you did 5001, you're like, oh my gosh, now things are clicking. I understand. And also, you know, you don't want to use other people as a gauge to why you're not for your ability. You know, some people grow better, grow faster, are able to see things better than you are quicker. Doesn't make them better. Doesn't mean that they're a better artist or a better uh, uh, athlete or, you know, musician or whatever it is that you aspire to be. Doesn't mean they're better. It just means that they can pick things up better or they have an affinity for it. But you know what? You can outwork them. You can outwork talent. So don't be afraid to do things that make you uncomfortable. This makes me uncomfortable so much. You know, I'm not, I don't particularly have the most vast of a vocabulary, and sometimes I have to think about things before I can give an answer generally, because it just doesn't process the way that it should. I'm always like this. Usually, if I give like a knee-jerk response, I end up making a fool of myself because the answer seems so dumb, you know. And this isn't natural for me. It took me about 150 of these to really get so good enough that I can talk and draw at the same time. Before it was like just silence, and it also has to be a topic that I'm well versed in. So like this notion of hard work and just persevering and just drawing and putting time in, I know a lot about because I've made the mistakes, you know. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything fancy with this. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to keep playing around with the values here. I might need to zoom out to kind of get more of a bird's eye view. But yeah, I'm just going to keep fiddling around with it, and we'll see what happens. You know, just kind of working with the cactus here and doing like multiple tests with the eyedrop tool here. I think it could be certainly brighter on the top. You know, on these top areas, I think you could push the contrast on the top. And I'm probably going to leave the background, this background like arm darker, and maybe not really spend a lot of time on developing the forms. I find that when I leave this arm, these arms in the background a little bit more like abstract and simplistic, it makes it feel more believable, because I think the foreground, having the shapes in front and the foreground really help. You know, and having the more developed shapes in the foreground with more elaborate like tones and more just more details. So we're going to put some shadow here, maybe some shadow here. So what I'm going to do is have a really dark shadow for right now, and then we're probably going to go in and develop that to a more variety of shadow. So right now I'm just kind of playing around with the tones here, kind of doing a halfway tone, and hopefully I can find a tone that's kind of in between where I have right now. Something like that. I think I kind of like that. And I'm saving a little spot right here for like some reflective light. So maybe I'll do like a little bit of like a highlight in the bottom of here. I think that'll be fine, right? Have a little bit of highlight of a bottom. Something like that. Yeah, so I don't have anything else to say. I've kind of exhausted that idea I just want to say that if you have like this aspiration to get better at something or to do something, but you have your fear is based you have this fear of not pursuing it because you're afraid of what other people are going to think. Don't just escape that. Just let go of that mentality. Just let go of it. As I said, there's always going to be someone. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be a person, thing, or obstacle in your way. And what you need to do is you just need to keep doing what you want to do. Keep doing it, and you'll get better. People start recognizing you. It's called like what was it? Steve Martin said, "Become so good at something that no one can ignore you." Right? And so there's some truth to that. You become so good at it that no one can say, "Oh, this person's no good," and you start getting noticed because you do things over and over again, and it's that repetition that people start gravitating towards. It's that repetition, you know, and it can be a negative thing, and if later on, like it could like bite you in the butt later on. I'm not disagreeing with that. Where like um you want like me, let's say that I'm doing cactuses and then all of a sudden I become so good, I become famous for my cactus drawings, right? And then all of a sudden like, well, what if I want to start drawing birds or landscapes, right? um and what if, and then like you're, well, you can't change that. You can, but what happens is you anger some people, and you don't need to worry about that. And that's what a lot of artists, that's what happens to a lot of artists is they're like, a lot of artists kind of get stuck doing the same type of artwork, and then they want to change, and then sometimes it's hard to change because their livelihood is kind of based upon the fact that they do um landscape paintings. But like what if they want to like just pivot and become an abstract artist? Like, I'm tired of doing landscape paintings, you know. And sometimes they're hard, it's hard for them to escape that type of, that like trap, I guess. They get kind of trapped in their own success, and I don't want to be in that. You know, I want to be able to kind of like just play around and be known for someone who does really good work whenever he does enough of it. Like, I got to do enough of it to become good, or good enough. So I'm going to do something like this one. Oops. We're going to do like some of those riblet things that you see that cactus have. And to get some of this, we'll kind of do like a little highlight. Just kind of working at it. I don't have anything else to say at the moment. Maybe when I have a little bit more come up to mind, I might have more like poignant things. But right now, it is what it is. So I think it's looking pretty good. I'm going to work on this one a little bit, and I think that might be it. I'll add some thorns after the fact. But yeah, I just want to say that anyone that's really interested in pursuing something that they love, but it is what's kind of stopping them is how they think people are going to react. You know, don't let that happen. Don't let people dissuade you from things that you want to do. Don't let that. As I said, there's always going to be someone, and it could be family too. Oh gosh, family is the worst. You know, they always like, family are always the worst at it. They're always like, "Are you sure you want to do this? How are you going to make money?" Like they'll tell you like, "Oh, you should work at this job." Like, well, listen, you know, no job is a sure thing, but I feel like sometimes parents will like, will I'm a little old for this, but you know, some will be like, "You should try doing this. You should try doing that." Like, you don't know how like the it's there's no longer the work at a manufacturer job until you retire. Like the company will probably fire you before then, because they don't want to pay for retirement. And I'm not going to say that's not a that's I'm not going to say that's not a bad thing. I'm not going to say that it's not bad. Like that does suck, right? That should not happen, but it does. Unfortunately, it does, man. It really does suck to be in that situation where you are a victim of your own success. Like you get older and you get paid more for the same job, and pretty soon someone is going to do the same job can do the same job that you can't are offering, and they're going to do it cheaper because they're younger, and they're like, well, they're younger and they're like, well, this is like a lot of money to me. I'll take this job and work at it, do it for less. But anyways, that's another whole like topic. I don't know enough about it to really kind of rant about it. But yeah, let's see here. Let's do a few. I'm gonna do like a few like little rib things on this one, and I might do some right here as well. Not a lot, just to kind of like suggest it. This is something I've been doing kind of as of recently, is just being a little bit more like, well, I have more time today. I've spent 40 minutes on this one. Um, doing more of these that gnarling thing on the cactuses. I think I might start doing more and more of that. Given it that will have to be that's going to be it's going to have to be like it has to be that's going to be dictated on how much time I have available for me. Like on certain days, like right now I have infinite time. I'm on vacation. But on other days, I might be like, well, I don't have a lot of time today. I have to cut it short, and I got it at a point where I'm comfortable where I'm comfortable enough to kind of leaving it where it's at. I don't need to worry about these little gnarling effects, right? I like the gnarling effects, but it's not gonna break my drawing if I don't do it, you know. So that's where I'm at with that. Let's see, let's do a little bit right here. What I want to do is I want to make a little bit darker. Oops, get this tone right here and make it darker right here. I think this would be good. Hey there, thank you. It's a pretty good cactus, huh? If you're interested, I am giving away a free art print of one of my cactuses as well. So if you like the cactus drawing that I'm doing right now, there is one that I'm doing. I'm doing an art giveaway, and if you just look down right there, that's the URL, the address that you need to type in to enter the contest. If you're on YouTube, which I think you are, it looks like you're on YouTube. All you need to do. Thank you. All you need to do is just, I think it's in the description. This one turned out pretty good. I think I think talking to my just talking. Actually, I kind of like these little gnarling effects. This has gotten better. It's only taken me a hundred or so of these to really. No, it's taken me 50, but it's taken me 100 drawings or more to really understand. Well, no, it's taken me 50 drawings. This is 50th or so. It's taken me 50 cactus drawings to really understand how to use this texture brush in a more of an expert manner. Yeah, and I think this might be it. I'm gonna put some thorns on it. I don't know. I might have to do like, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna do some thorns. I'm worried that it's gonna mess it up, so I might be a little bit sparing on the thorns. I might be a little bit spare on the thorns today. Yeah, I'm gonna be spare. Yeah, I say that now, and then all of a sudden I like guess go, thorns everywhere. Like, oh no. No, I'm gonna try to be as spare as I can. I'm going to do the thorns. Yeah. Oh man. So I'm just going to do some thorns here. I think I'm just going to kind of do some thorns here. Very simple, using a hard edge brush, um, which is on 10 pixels really. And it's I find that 10 pixels has been like the one that I and like the most. If I go smaller, I don't like it. I think it's too like I think the lines are too thin. If I go larger, I always felt that like the thorns are too big. You know, I have like this weird like preference for how thick I want my thorns to be on my cactus drawings. Um, yeah, so this one turned out really well. I like the striation I did. I think I want to do that more often. I think I was afraid to do it, or I wasn't. Not, I don't know about being afraid, but I don't know if I was able to capture it enough or capture. I wasn't really capable with the texture brush that I was using. I wasn't confident enough with it. And so I think I've gotten to the point where I know how to use it better and use it to kind of blend as well as create unique textures. But before I was like, I didn't know how to use it to blend to use the brush to blend with. It was kind of difficult for me. And it took about 50 drawings to kind of get that point. I can only imagine after another 50, it's going to be even better. We'll see. You know, we'll see. I don't know. But that goes to say, really, when you're doing pursuing things that you like doing, you shouldn't be afraid. You know, to some extent, I am always afraid doing these live streams because I'm kind of putting myself out there. You know, artists are weird. Like they're extra huge, massive extroverts, or they're massive introverts. You know, I'm kind of in between. I can be a little bit of both, but like for the most part, I'm kind of introverted when I'm drawing. You know, when I'm drawing, I want to focus on the drawing. I want to be just want to really want it to be. I want it like so perfect, whatever perfect is for a drawing like this. You know, I have specific aesthetics for it. But I've gotten better being able to talk in these circumstances. So I think I think this has been beneficial for me to kind of do these live streams and to kind of articulate some thoughts. Some days are like, what is this person talking about? This guy's making no sense because he's like talking about one thing and he's bouncing around to another. He's like, and the reason why is because I don't have like a set like script that I'm going by, and I may need to have a script and talk about like what if I were to talk like do the news when I do these things. Have like a like and today's news. I don't know. I just read some little prompt or something. All right. So I need to zoom out because I found that I was finding that when I zoomed in, I'm making the thorns tighter. So this one took a lot longer. I'm bordering almost an hour on this. I'm about 10 minutes away from an hour. And I didn't mean for it to happen this way. I actually thought I was going pretty quick with this. Maybe it's because I had a lot to say. I don't know. So I'm not going to put any thorns here, but what I am going to do is I'm going to put like some thorns on the sides here because you really can't see any of the thorns inside here. Like if I do mark here, watch, you can barely see it, right? Maybe I should do a few in there just for for posterity. But you can barely see it, so what's the point, right? It's like wasted effort almost. All right. We're just finishing the thorns here and get it out of the way. Oh, it's turned out well, though. I'm quite pleased with it. I think it's probably one of my more better. I think it's one of my more better ones, more well developed ones. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I learned with this piece and try to transfer it over. And I think the reason why it's a little bit better is I spent a minute or two more on the underdrawing and kind of defining where those arms come out of the cactus. Because I was thinking about that the yesterday. I was like, that cactus I did yesterday was like, the mustache was pretty cool on it, but the cactus itself was like pretty sus, pretty suspect. I wasn't too pleased with it. And I think the reason why is because the arms didn't feel like they connected to the cactus as much. And this one has more of that happening there, happening than the other drawing. And that's because I created this. You've got these points where the cactus insert into the main post of the cactus, right? And so that's why it works better. And that is that. Pretty sweet, huh? Now, one last thing. We're going to... Let's sign it dark. Let's sign it like green. We just go green. No, we're going to sign it this color. I'm going to go down to the bottom right here. And I'm going to go to signature. I'm going to go 9 pixels. I'm going to go P21, 154, 154. That's a little large. 154 out of 200. Zoom out. And there we go. That is it, friends. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this drawing, and I hope you enjoyed the dialogue that I had, some of the thought processes that I was kind of articulating. Hope there was some value to you. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. For those that are interested in this type of content, if you like watching daily live streams and artist interviews, please subscribe for more. It really means a lot to me. And that was day 154 of 200 days of drawing. Before I go, I want to state that I am having an art giveaway, and if you are interested in winning a free art print of one of my cactus drawings, all you got to do is go down below to that URL there, www.mattpearsonart.com/art giveaway with that dash line in between art and giveaway. You enter that in, and then you just go in and then type in your information, and you'll receive an email stating that you stating thank you for entering, and that's it. You will be notified. The winner will be notified. Everyone will be notified of the winner August 15th. And that's all you have to do. What would really help me out is if you aren't subscribed to my YouTube or Twitch channel. That would help me out a lot if you subscribe to that. And what's the bonus of that is you get to watch this stuff. You get to know about when I'm doing these live streams. But also the bonus is you will know when I have my next art giveaway. One of the goals for this year is to do 12 art giveaways. I think I've done 3. So I think this is my 4th one. This will be my 4th one. So after that will be my 4th one. I'll have like 6 more. I gotta try to compress into the remaining time of the year, the remainder of the year. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for watching. Cheers.